Hello everyone, Strikoder here and welcome back to a new episode of the OSCP journey. In today's episode we're gonna solve a Windows easy machine on HackTheBox called Access, so let's get started. So probably on this box we would deal with Access and Microsoft stuff and Outlook and databases in order to get some credentials, and then we need to escalate our privileges. So first of all, let me check we are connected to HackTheBox. Let me copy the IP and export that to all instances of tmax and ping IB to check that everything is going great. Okay, then we can start with Nmap. As always, SS for silent, you can replace that with sudo, -a for scripting and for TLS and for version detection, PN for using porting instead of the just pinging, and over here the IB, T4 for the speed and V for verbose. So we see port 80 is open. I'm gonna check with Firefox and copy the IB over here, HTTP. So the proxy issue because I had portswigger up. And what do we have over here? We have 21, which is an FTP, and 23. 23, I forgot almost what 23 is. So here we have a website. Let me do FUF. So FUF, and let me go to the end. Then over here I'm gonna provide the IB, and we're gonna fuzz this website. Moving into here, I'm gonna wait till Nmap finishes and unpause. So Nmap's still running, but it finished scanning the open ports. We have 21, 23, and 80. I finished enumerating the directories list and the files list. So be sure to run this as well because I ran that when I paused. However, we don't have anything interesting. We have only index.html, so probably it's the same page, but I like to check. So yeah, we don't have anything interesting. Maybe we can open the image and see if we are directed to an image directory or images, but that's not the case. So while Nmap's still running, I'm gonna remove this and check what was, let's check together, port 23. So it was a Telnet protocol. Okay, that's great. Let's try. So Telnet, it's been a long time since I tried Telnet. So probably when I did the EJBT, and over here I'm gonna provide the IB, and as you can see here we need to provide this. So escape character is this, and connected. Who am I? Help. Nothing interesting. Okay. How do I escape? This and this. Okay, so nothing interesting. We had an FTP, so we try anonymous, and I'm gonna add my IB. Anonymous access allowed, that's great. LS, we have backups and engineer. Let's try the backups first, and directory. We have backup.mdb. Let me check. We are in the access directory, that's great. Now I believe get or download, I believe get MDB, and we downloaded that file. Let me get back, check the other directory, engineer, and we see a zip. Let me get that as well. File may not have transferred correctly. How do we deal with this? Let me check. So FTP file may not have transferred correctly. I had a typo over there, and let's check. So what's the issue? Binary. So we need to type binary here, and now get this. So now it's completed. Let me check. Here we have the zip, but where is our other file? Maybe we had the same issue, but I didn't notice. Okay, so directory, I mean cd into backups, and directory, binary, then get that backup. Let me check. So we are downloading. Yep. And exit. I don't think that we need FTP anymore. So we have two stuff. How to deal with those. Let me check again over here. Let's get back to Google. How to open .mdb file. So MDB is Microsoft Access, and let's check in Linux. Accept all cookies. So the apt-get install MDB tools. I believe it's installed already on my device. And what do we need as well? So let me check. I don't think we have those in Kali Linux. So we need to deal with MDB tools. So let's check MDB tools. But I've seen Kali recommending me those. So MDB dash. So I have those tools. So we have hex dump, MDB import. I don't think import's gonna fit our situation. SQL, that's not an SQL. Maybe we can benefit from schema, tables, and export. Let me try export. I'm gonna use this backup and authenticated users.txt maybe. I'm gonna leave that without any txt, and we get something. We get a juicy information. Let me, or I'm gonna leave that over there. So we have admin with date, engineer with access and security, and backup admin with this. So let me make usernames, or I'm gonna touch that, or no, I'm gonna take cat author users. I didn't save that. Okay, so let me vim users, paste that into here, and cat users, and I'm gonna grab for, how do we separate that? Maybe with cut. The delimiter would be the comma and the second field. So here we get admin, engineer, backup admin. And how do we remove those? Maybe with backup again, with cut again, dash D, then this, and dash F first. So we had only username. Yeah, now we're doing great. And save that into usernames.txt. Now for the password, I'm gonna get, so the password is gonna be the third one probably, but maybe we don't need this part. We are saving immediately. That's extremely bad. Let me remove the usernames for now and run that again. Cat usernames. Now we're doing great. Now let's get back to here and remove the save to usernames part, and let me check the output. So here the usernames. Now we have the passwords. So I don't believe the password would be access for you at security. Maybe, but I'm going to save into passwords.txt and vim into passwords. and take this, paste that into here, and remove this. Oops, I'm in visual mode. And let me take this as well, one more time. Add that into users, not users, but usernames. Add it here. So why can't I? Let me get that again, passwords. Take this, paste that into here, and remove the space. And let's try with NXC. Would we have any pass or success? So we provide the passwords and usernames. And let's try. So we didn't start, which is extremely vague. Let me, because we don't have SMB. Okay, maybe with FTP. Do we have FTP with netexec? We have for sure LDAP, SMB, and WinRM, but I forgot about the FTP. We had that for sure with crackmap exec, and yeah, we have that here. So nothing was successful. No successful attempts with FTP, so at least we have usernames and passwords. And let's check what do we have as well. So we have a zip file. Let me check, because most of the time when you need to use the zip file, you would get that's not a zip file, but over here I believe, yeah, that's a zip. So unzip the access, skipping access control.pst, unsupported compression method 99. So I don't know what the heck is that. So let's check together. So I'm going to Google, my best friend, and I'm gonna paste the error over here and the compression of zip. Zustimmen and unsupported compression. So how do we solve that? He doesn't know. Unzip a password protected file. So it's protected. So we need to provide a password. Alright. And where do we get our password from? That's what we need to know. So we get back a step and let me check. Did we get anything out of that? No, we didn't. Let me check with other program. So maybe we can with 7zx. So I tried that and maybe it's gonna work. So here we see that we need a password, a little bit better than the unzip. And we see, actually let's try the passwords that we have over here. So access control.pst will not be echoed. Okay, so cat passwords. Maybe this. Everything is okay. Okay, that's great. Are we sure about that? Are we cool, guys? So let me check the size. So probably yeah, because we have a relatively good size for that file. And how to read the, what was the PST file? So how to read PST files on Linux. Working with the .pst. Okay, that's not great. Alright, sudo evolution, not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking. Okay, that's great. Read PST, that what I can remember. I've used that on another box as far as I remember, so it's gonna be read PST. And yep, like that. And we see 2 items done, 0 items skipped. So now we have, what do we have? we have a .mbox, which is, what is this? So an HTML document. Let me run that. Okay, that's not great. Let me, I believe HTML to text and give inbox a little bit better, I believe. Would JQ benefit us here? JQ dot, and I'm gonna give the file. Okay, that's not great. Let me then cat the file and give that to JQ dot. So it's not a jQuery or JSON. So we need to, or maybe we can fire up with Firefox. Let me close that. And how do we do that? Can I Firefox from here and the file? I've done that before. Regular user session is not supported. So because I'm running Firefox as sudo, alright. So to deal with that, I believe we need to provide sudo-u Kalimain account, Firefox, and the file that we want to open. And let me check that. Okay, my machine is dead. Yep, that's what we are searching for. Save with, wait a minute. I was... Oh, okay, we can open that as a text file. Sorry for the white background. So let's check that very fast. So it's like an email. So the password for security account has been changed to this. Okay, let me copy this. Can I copy that? I don't believe that it has been copied. Do we have anything? No, we don't. Let me close this. Okay, bye-bye. And let me grab that here. So instead of GraphQL, I'm gonna grep for pass. And we see on your engineers. And where is our password? Let me cat the file and grep for password. Let me grep -a2 and -before and after 2. And maybe we get, here is it. So we get from here to here. And the account is security. So let me make or do we do echo? Oh no, let me export that. Export all. User is equal security. I don't need to jump forward. And export all. Pass equal to, I couldn't copy that. Let me remove this. Nah, that's not what I wanted. And this is the password for access controller. And let me remove that. So let's get back to our Nmap. Probably we should have saved that into our notes, but okay, I'm not going to deal with the notes because we have only 3 ports. So we have port 21, 23, and 80. 80 we don't have any login stuff, so we are stuck with FTP and Telnet. Let me check FTP again. So FTP security at, but not other machine. Okay, maybe that's a great. User cannot log in. Failed. So maybe with Telnet. Let me check again. So it hangs. Let's wait until he either give us a response or Telnet kick us outside the service. So let's wait a little bit. Okay, here we are prompted for a login. Let's try security and the password that I copied, and voila, we have access. We are access security. So I like to actually get a reverse shell. So to get a reverse shell, we can use PowerShell script, which, let me take that from my notes. So I'm pressing Control, then going to the third window where I have my notes ready for the prevesc. So this would be our script, but nah, please do not run. Okay, that's great. Let me edit that. So let me open over here text editor, paste that here, and check my IP because it always changes, not the Firefox. Okay, so my IP grep IP tunnel 0 10.10.14.31, and I like to use 1001 or to blend in with the open ports like with port 19 for instance, but let's stick with 1001, and I believe that's it. Let me get netcat and listen on the 001, run that, and fingers crossed we are connected. Who am I? Okay, that's great. Let's move on with my privilege escalation. So if you are interested and you need those notes, let me know in the comment section and I will uh, provide them to you. And I like to start with directory force, my directory that I got the access to through the shell, and nothing interesting in here as far as I can recall, or as far as I can call. Actually, let's go to desktop and grab the flag. Uh, what is this? What have I done? Okay, type user.txt. That was a great shortcut to show us the time. Let me close this and submit this to here because I do the boxes with you guys. And let's get back. What our way in would be. So who am I dash all, and we see we don't have any privileges over here. Do we have any interesting groups? Console logon. Maybe we have logon net. Oops, net user. We have administrator, engineer. So maybe we need to move to engineer. Okay, let's check that. Let me try Q user. So we have logon time, administrator, he has console but none. Okay, but the active state is here. So actually let me add this. Maybe with the CMD key, I'm gonna add this here, Q user or Q user. And maybe with CMD key we can check what do we have over here and see if we can impersonate something. So currently stored credentials, that's great. We have domain password, user, administrator. And where do we get our user? Where do we get our password from? I cannot recall. Actually, let me check then my notes. So once we have CMD key, I can get either an RCE or use this method to get the flag. Let's get an RCE, shall we? We need to download shell. I'm not interested in a shell. Here with 0xdf probably to make mostly I believe through MSF Venom. Actually, let me start with this. So I'm gonna copy this and let me zoom in here a little bit and paste this. So, oops. So now that's not gonna work. Let me go into here, remove this. So here we are using run as the safety crate that we have in our CMD key list, and instead of Amin, I'm gonna use, or Strikoder, I'm gonna use access, the user that we have here, administrator. Then what do we need that to do? Maybe to get the CMD, I believe we had to put double quotes if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Actually, you know what? Let me copy that from here to here. Have I copied inside the double quotes? Yes, I did. So I just need to paste that in. And what we are doing is calling the CMD and getting the root and putting that in security. So I just edited here the user to security because we had security over here. If you don't have security, then you need to choose the user that you have or save within C over here, or make a temp directory, which you would usually do on an IRL pen testing. So we do this and we check and we type root.txt, and that's our flag. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question. See you next video.